Evening. Another beautiful day of building Uniflow from scratch. And today my main goal was to really focus on researching further steps on building decentralized ledger. And as I was doing research, I was going step further and step further and step further, and I was thinking how we can make the whole infrastructure happen so it doesn't have to use internet at all. So imagine that you can communicate two devices or two devices without use of internet, and those two devices can be on two different, two different places in the world, and you don't need an internet that is controlled by government, and you don't need any cable that is obviously controlled by companies. You can only use the network or like the radio waves that you have in your device to communicate with the other device. And it is a little bit going back to the to the old ages, like 1980, 1990 and all of that stuff, when the radio waves, or even further back when the radio waves were used for communication, and now we have Wi-Fi and we have all of that stuff. But if you think about this, if you want to create a fully decentralized place that none of the really places around the world can block you or can turn off the internet, or if something will happen like tornado or something in one place, and the network will still work regardless, that's what's really supposed to happen. I don't know if we are actually going to do that from the very beginning, or whether it's going to be more like another step in the development of our network. But this is where I was going today with my research, as I was researching that the networks and like connections and how do I want to do it. I did that probably for majority of my day today. During the night I spent quite a lot of time as well on that, to make sure that, well, didn't make sure, I was just researching all of that stuff, and it takes time. I also came up with those weird notions about how really the society, or how really the how really the companies should treat their consumers, and how really companies should treat their employees as we go into the more world that is impacted by technology. So as businesses grows, as more technology is included into the business, less people, less employees are really necessary, unfortunately. So probably within the next, 10, 20 years, a lot of people says that the technology won't take over the jobs, but I do believe that they will, unfortunately. And so maybe not all of them, but a lot of jobs will be replaced by robots, will be replaced by automation. And so I came with that really interesting thought, where the gentleman was talking about that instead of, if you run your company and you implement some kind of new technology that allows you to, let's say, decrease the amount of work of the employees by 50%, the normal notion of the business nowadays in the current economy would be to fire those people, right? Fire 50% of your workforce, because they're not necessary anymore and they're a cost for you. And as every business in current systems is built to generate as much profit as possible. And the different thing over here is that if you build that new technology with your team, or you buy, or whatever it is that you implemented within your business processes or company, that you don't need the 50% of the workforce, but you still have the same costs, you didn't increase the revenue, so you still have the same profits. Instead of firing those 50 people, instead of making the trouble for that 50% of employees of your company, imagine giving them 50% less work for the same pay. So instead of firing someone, give everyone 50% less work. You will have the same costs, you will have the same profits, nothing will change, but the people who are working for you will be much, much happier than before. They will work less, they will make as much money as they were making before, they will have more time for family, friends, anything else they want to do, and when they will come to workplace, they will be much happier, and everyone will, I believe that the companies it would be much nicer, and in this way people can have much bigger impact on other people than doing anything else, because this way you actually changing how people live their lives, because they don't need to work as much as it is expected in the current stage, and they have something to provide for their families as well. So I think that was quite interesting point of view about about how the companies would go going forward, about not firing people, instead of just giving them less work, pay the same money, because as you innovate, as you build new technologies, you don't really lose on it. You can only generate more revenue because everything gets more automated and more efficient, and just give people less work, pay them the same, you will be happy, everyone in the company will be happy, the economy will thrive. And I think it would be an amazing thing to do for the society as well. I wonder what's your thoughts on that, but that was actually quite interesting take that I had over the night that I was reading. I had also short meeting with Shivam today about what he have done lately, but obviously he was on holidays, so he didn't have too much time, but he said he was working a little bit, which is great. We should finish, he said that he should finish everything tomorrow evening, so maybe I will be able to actually try to test everything. But how everything will pan out, we will find out tomorrow or day after tomorrow. But yeah, let that thought sink, and let's think about this, because the way how the systems are operating nowadays, it's a little bit off track, and it's a little bit not how it's supposed to be. It's very profit driven, and it's not healthy for the society, it's not healthy for economy. As we can see around the world right now, it's just mess, I would say. Anyway, that will be it from my side today. Thank you very much, and I will see you tomorrow.